Many of us still remember actor Chitrangada Singh from that dream start she had with Sudhir Mishra's very offbeat Hazaro Khwaishein Aisi, touted then as the next Smita Patil. But since her return to celluloid after a 4-year break, she has made that shift to a glamorous B-town girl. At the Lakme Fashion Week in Mumbai recently, she was the showstopper for Tarun Tahiliani, wearing a gorgeous black and gold creation. That's where we caught up with her.
Chatting with us now is the very glamorous Chitrangada Singh. Always a pleasure to talk to you, Chitrangada. Tell me how it's been, this journey of yours, because you've done your films of late. Of course, there was a bit of a break in between as well.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing you endorse so many more products than you did in the past. So where do currently things stand?
Well, they stand better than they were. Yeah, it's a constant process, I think. Sometimes, things work out, sometimes they don't, and they don't work out the way you want them to. So you sort of wait and see, what's the best that you can do in that situation. So yeah, I think I've been through a bit of a rough patch, but yes, I'm very happy that we've sort of moved on and a lot of new things are happening, and I'm very happy with the way, things are working out and the kind of scripts that are coming my way now and the kind of work that's coming, and I'm also trying to put together my own company to make the kind of films that I would want to. So everything is sort of slowly but falling in place.
Right. So are these the kind of films that we saw you do right at the beginning
Not
of your
exactly,
career? Not
no.
really.
I think it's entertaining. It doesn't have to be the kind of cinema that I can be part of. I think it's the kind of cinema that I love watching, and which entertains. So yeah, so it'll be all kinds of stuff.
I understand that in your new film you're going to play a pop star.
No, not exactly. That's
No?
a very misquoted word that came through. It is a musician.
Musician?
Yeah, she's a Pakistani musician who is also a singer. And it is about a lot of artists in Pakistan and some regions of Northwest Frontier who went through a lot of problems because of the whole extremist, view of how do you say, artists and,
Right.
and singers and,
Right.
and singing, what they thought of it. So it's a journey of one such woman who's trying to stand up to something like that, but in a very comic way. It is set in a kind of a dark comedy sort of a thing. So it's interesting.
You have been part of the fashion business. You
Yeah.
started modeling straight after college, I understand.
That's right.
So then you understand the evolution of the fashion business as well.
Yeah, I think it's touched all of us and we're all aware of it. I think it is. I think it's been through a time when we were all trying to be very Western, to a time when we wanted to be Indian and then, probably modern now. So I think there's been this kind of very cyclical thing, and it's a great time right now in fashion, where we are not trying to be Western but modern India.
So you think we've developed a style of our own? There is a
Absolutely,
definitive
and there is a
aesthetic
pride
quality.
that's coming through in everything Indian.
What about your personal style? Chitrangada?
Very high street.
Very high street.
I don't think I'm someone who's, going in for something top to bottom, wearing Prada, or this is the latest thing and these are the heels. I think I go more with my own sense of comfort, and I like things put together, like how I am. It's easier.
The other point that strikes me is about the impact of Bollywood or film industry in general on the world of fashion. Now that, from
Yes,
the time that...
you cannot escape it, no matter what they say.
Yeah, so I mean, that being a reality even today, have you
True.
seen that evolve over a period of time?
But I think from the time that my mom says that this is the cut that Sadhana wore, the color, like it's that far back, and this is India, and we love our cinema and we love our films so much that I think fashion is a very important. The cinema is a very important part of the fashion trend, and I
Right.
think it's difficult to cut through it or break that.
Endorsements right now, they're taking so much hype because of the kind of negative feedback it's gotten in terms of the responsibility towards the brands that you endorse. So I'm just wondering where you stand on that entire debate about the kind of levels of responsibility that you take on as an endorser of a brand.
Yeah, I think the consumer is a lot more aware now than they ever were. It is more than just what's looking good on the poster. There are a lot more questions. Also, like you said, Twitter, social media, you get to know so much more about the person who's endorsing it. It's not just somebody you saw in a film, you know so much more about what they're doing, where were they, what do they eat, everything.
Correct.
So yeah, I guess there's a responsibility because you are engaging with the consumers in a lot more ways, and as not a model but as a person.
The change that is coming into Indian films, or the kind of films that you're part of, is it nebulous, or can you actually feel it, that there is this shift that's happening in terms of the kind of films that work in the Indian context. You can't really say that,
Yeah,
look,
well,
this will and this won't.
You can't deny the fact that the male stars are still obviously hanging on really strong, and they do
Sure.
have the pull which they do. But there is a very big section of the audience which also wants to see different kind of cinema at the same time, and I think they're ready for what Kangana is doing.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, it's just amazing. I think she's just fantastic, and thank God for films like that, for directors, writers like that.
Yeah.
We do
that
more.
must inspire a lot of confidence, right?
Confidence not just in me,
No,
but I think confidence in the industry, confidence
Sure.
in the business, for people, for investors to be able to invest in a good script and content and not just in a star.
Right.
So that is the kind of confidence that she's managed to bring about, difference that she's managed to bring about, yeah.
Fantastic. So we look forward to great things from you, Chitrangada. It's always a
thank you
pleasure
so
talking
much.
to you.
Thank you.